Reptilian is the mock bobsled coaster at King's Dominion. This coaster originally opened as Avalanche, but was transformed into Reptilian for the 2022 season. While the ride certainly looks different with its bright orange paint scheme, it rides identically. So how does this bobsled coaster compare to the other ones out there? Find out in this review of Reptilian. Mack built their first bobsled coaster in Schweizer Bobbin at Europa Park in 1985. Mack would only go on to build 6 different bobsled coasters, and their second would go to King's Dominion. Avalanche opened in 1988 with a prototypical white trough. This would be the only Mack bobsled ever built in America, and there were only 3 other bobsled coasters total still running in the United States. When Safari Village was rethemed to Jungle Expedition for the 2022 season, Avalanche was painted orange and named Reptilian. I was unsure how I'd feel about a bobsled coaster having such a flashy paint scheme, but it looks pretty good in person. I also really like the scaly looking trains and the jungle paraphernalia in the station. Reptilian is a wise coaster to ride early in the day. This coaster is one of the lowest capacities at King's Dominion. The ride usually runs 2 trains, seating up to 14 riders across 7 cars. However, the ride usually dispatches with far less people. Since it's inline style seating, the only way to fit 2 riders in a bobsled is for someone to literally sit in another person's lap. Understandably, not everyone is comfortable with this, so a lot of people choose to ride alone. The crew can check the trains quickly though, thanks to the simple lap bar restraints. This is a coaster where I do not have a preference where I sit. The forces feel identical throughout the train. The front does have a slightly better view, so if all rows have the same weight, I guess it's worth sitting there. Once dispatched, you turn out of the station and ascend the lift hill, which stands roughly 60 to 70 feet or 18 to 21 meters tall. The ride then starts with an elevated helix. It's not particularly fast because you have only a little speed going into it, but it gives you a taste of what's to come from a visual standpoint. You then rise up a gradual incline and crawl into a mid-course brake run. Now the entry into the brake runs on the Intamin bobsleds are brutal, as the cars bang side to side rather violently. The transitions into the brakes on the Mack ones are far more comfortable. You still tap the side rails, but the transition occurs over a larger distance, so it's much less jarring. The second half begins with a series of downwards S-bends. Each one induces more swinging than the prior one, and due to the oversized trough, you lose all sense of direction. This leads into a fast downwards helix. The Element has the best swinging on the ride. You really slide up the trough, which is always a neat sensation. This clockwise helix is followed by a counterclockwise helix, and it can cause a faint feeling of weightlessness. You then twist upwards, losing speed along the way, before meekly crawling into the final brake run, ending the coaster. One of the most important things with Reptilian is to lean forwards. Because the trough is slatted, the cars vibrate down the track like a car down a cobblestone road. If you're sitting right up against the seat back, the vibrations are especially prominent and kind of uncomfortable. If you lean forwards, they're not too noticeable. The shake is one of the biggest differences from the Intamin bobsleds. However, this slatted trough allows the coaster to operate in the rain and drive faster after precipitation because water can actually drain out of it, so it does improve the ride's uptime. So what would I rate Reptilian? I would give this Mack bobsled coaster a 5 out of 10. This is an okay coaster. It's a rare model and it's cool how the trains slither down the track, but none of the elements really stand out. I think the Intamin bobsleds and later Mack ones offer more engaging layouts, but Reptilian is still a solid option for families because it offers an approachable and unique ride experience. So those are my thoughts on Reptilian at King's Dominion. What do you think about America's only Mack bobsled? Do you like the new paint scheme? Let me know your thoughts on this ride down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.